You need money, badly. So when you see the ad participants wanted, fear endurance study, $10,000 for 6 weeks, you don't hesitate. The email from Dr. Ellison at Cognition Dynamics is brief. Congratulations, you've been selected. Please arrive tomorrow at 9 a.m. The building is all glass and steel. More tech startup than clinic, and a receptionist with a perfect smile slides you a tablet without much explanation. You scroll past dense terms about elevated stress monitoring and behavioral observation protocols and tap accept. Dr. Ellison appears on the dot of 9, tall and composed, wireframe glasses catching the light. She leads you into a white room with a single table, where a black, minimalist wristwatch sits waiting. This is the fear monitor, she says. It tracks your biometrics and converts them into a fear index, from 0 to 100. Just wear it, live normally, and after 6 weeks you get paid. One rule, do not remove the watch. If you do, the experiment ends and you don't get a cent. You joke that you'd never take off $10,000, but she doesn't laugh. Some people panic, she says. Don't. Week 1 for the first few days. Nothing feels different. You go to work, ride the bus, scroll your phone. The watch gives the occasional soft buzz, and when you tap it, a small number appears your fear index. It hovers around 12, creeping up to the low 20s when you're rushing or stressed. You start to think of it as a weird anxiety Fitbit. On day 5, walking home, you notice a man across the street staring straight at you. Not a glance and broken, locked eye contact. You speed up. When you look back a few seconds later, he's gone, like he stepped out of the world. The watch vibrates. Fear index 24. That night, shadows in your bedroom stretch too far along the wall, like fingers reaching for you. Every time you turn on the lamp, they snap back to normal. Fear index 31. In the grocery store the next day, someone whispers your name. The voice is close, right at your ear. You spin around, but nobody is looking at you. A woman checks her phone. An old man reads a label. Your skin crawls because you know you heard it. You walk out without buying anything. Fear index 38. Week 2 by week 2, whispers follow you everywhere. On the bus, in the office elevator, on the sidewalk, your name, soft and intimate, followed by fragments. They're watching you. Don't trust it. It knows. You stop making eye contact with anyone. Start keeping your head down. It doesn't help. At the coffee shop, you suddenly feel watched. You look up and see 3 people at different tables staring directly at you, faces blank, eyes unblinking. On the subway, a whole row turns toward you at the same moment, heads tilting in perfect sync. No one speaks. No one looks away until you do. Your fear index climbs into the 50s. You email Dr. Ellison. You're hearing things. People are acting strange. This can't be normal. Her reply arrives almost instantly. This is expected. Heightened perception is part of the study. Continue as planned. The speed of the response makes your stomach twist, like she was waiting for you to break. That night, you look up Cognition Dynamics. The website is basically empty. Logo, vague slogan, contact form. No staff, no address, no studies. You search your name and get nothing. It's like they don't exist outside your experience. By day 12, you only leave the apartment when you have no choice. The watch buzzes reliably at 3 a.m. One night you check it and see a new message glowing on the dark screen. Fear levels below threshold. Simulation expanding. You don't remember anything in the contract about a simulation. The next morning you find out what expanding means. When you open the blinds, 5 people are standing on the sidewalk below, in a loose semicircle, all of them staring up at your 4th floor window. They don't move, don't talk, don't check their phones. By noon, there are at least 15. You shut the blinds with shaking hands. Fear index 71. You call Dr. Ellison and tell her you're done. You want out? You agreed to 6 weeks, she says calmly. You explain about the people outside, the staring. She calls it stress-induced hypervigilance, common in isolation, insists the watch is just recording data. You snap that you're taking it off. Silence stretches. Then, I wouldn't recommend that. Removal could trigger adverse effects, legal and otherwise. For your own safety, keep the device on. The call drops. Fear index 79. Week 3, you barely sleep now. Every night you hear footsteps in the hallway, keys brushing the door, the slow test of the doorknob. Every time you check the peephole, no one is there. The watchers outside change faces and outfits, but they never stop staring up. You start photographing them, counting at least 32 different people over 3 days. None of them ever speak. You call emergency services. The operator listens, then asks what the people are actually doing. When you say just standing and staring, she says standing in public isn't illegal, and hangs up. Fear index 84. At 3 a.m., the watch goes from a soft buzz to a violent shaking on your wrist, like it's trying to burrow into your skin. A warning flashes. Do not attempt to exit experiment boundaries. You're in bed. You haven't tried to go anywhere. Then it clicks. The apartment is the boundary. You're not supposed to leave. Something in you snaps. You grab a kitchen knife, wedge it under the band, and saw through the material with shaking hands. The strap gives, the watch drops onto the floor, and skids under the couch. The instant weightlessness on your wrist feels like coming up for air. Relief floods you so hard you almost laugh. Your phone buzzes. New contact. Control. Message. You have failed your observation phase. We are increasing exposure levels. Another. Do not leave your residence. Observers are in position. You wrench the blinds open. The street is packed, now dozens, maybe 50 people filling the sidewalk and road, shoulder to shoulder, all staring up at your window like an audience waiting for a performance to start. 3 slow, measured knocks sound at your door. Your phone lights up again. Open the door. This is your final evaluation. You whisper no under your breath, backing away. The knocking stops. For a moment, the silence feels heavier than the sound. Then, you hear the deadbolt turn from the outside with a soft, final click. You did not give anyone a key. The door eases open. A tall figure in a dark coat stands on the threshold, face swallowed in shadow. They step inside with stiff, mechanical precision, head tilting just a little too far to one side. 2 more shapes move in behind them. 3 people now in your living room, just standing there, watching you. Your phone buzzes where you dropped it on the table. Remain calm. Data collection in progress. The first figure pulls a tablet from their coat. The screen lights up with grainy footage of your apartment from multiple angles: bedroom, kitchen, bathroom. Swipe. Still photos of you asleep, brushing your teeth, sitting on the couch. Swipe. You at the grocery store, the coffee shop, the subway. Every moment you thought was yours logged with timestamps and coordinates. A flat, synthetic voice plays from the tablet's speaker. The experiment was never about your fear. It was about compliance. How long would you tolerate surveillance before breaking protocol? You stammer that this is insane. This is data. You are data. Fear index at device removal, 87. Current index, 94. Optimal range for secondary. Testing. The lights cut out, plunging everything into black. You hear multiple sets of footsteps closing in. Your phone screen glows with one last message. Thank you for your participation. Observation phase complete. Extraction phase initiated. You bolt for the door, half running, half falling into the hallway. It's full, both walls lined with people standing shoulder to shoulder, all facing your apartment door, as if they've been waiting for this exact moment. You shove past them. Their bodies are cold and rigid, but they don't speak. Don't try to stop you. You tear down the stairs and burst out into the night air. The street is suddenly ordinary again. Cars passing, a couple walking a dog, nobody staring up at your window, nobody filling the road. You stand there shaking, thinking maybe you broke it, maybe you got out in time. Then you feel a familiar weight and vibration on your wrist. You look down, the watch is back, the band is whole. The face glows calmly, the face glows calmly. Fear index, 100. Experiment continuing. You cannot leave.